Okay, so here's the second Caecilian video I said I was going to make about the parental care. And so the one that we're talking about is skin feeding, and then one that they don't know very much about, but it's mentioned. And here are, I'll just show the two papers I used. And okay. So skin feeding, that sounds pretty gross, right? Alright, so it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's just the babies when they're born viviparous, and then some of the ones that lay eggs and have direct development, they do it too. And so they one thing they've noticed is that obviously it's very expensive for the mother, because as they track the growth rate of the babies, the mother loses a significant amount of weight, so it shows that it's really high cost. But it's beneficial because the babies grow a lot faster than the ones that don't do it. And the next is, well, it's really bad definition, but this is like showing the actual skin feeding. I don't know if you can really see this one here. This is like the mouth, and then that's like a piece of the skin that it's ripping off, which I'll, as more detailed than that, I'll tell it in the next picture with the skin. Okay. So when they're doing the skin feeding, the skin actually like changes in composition, so it's really modified. The babies, they only remove the stratum corneum, which is the outermost layer of skin, not the dermis, which is underneath it. So in this picture, I pretty much labeled it so that I didn't have to say the letters. Hang on. Use the pointer because the mouse doesn't work. So non-brooding and then brooding, the main difference is the white vesicles that have, more nutrients and stuff in them, and it's thicker in general. And this one is the special test they did for the fats. So the black circles are the lipids, which aren't present in the non-brooding females. Yep, well actually, so what this is a zoom in of the cells in here. So that's the cytoplasm, contains more of the lipids. And then the babies have specially developed teeth to help them with the feeding. Hang on. Okay. So the babies have these special teeth that, obviously they're spork shaped to help peel off the stratium. Like, in both the papers, there's a lot of stuff about, like, the main reason that they do this is to figure out, like, the evolutionary patterns and things like that, which I'm not gonna talk about, but because it's complicated, and if you don't have that background, it's kind of difficult to understand. Okay, so this is the one that they just happened to see while they were doing this study, and thought that, it's just a new type of parental care, I guess. So what they saw was that, oh wait, last thing about the skin feeding, that they saw that it takes about 7 minutes for the babies to eat all of the skin, and then between bouts of feeding, it's usually about approximately 3 days for the skin to grow back. Okay, and then so this new one. So the female raises up her cloaca and exposes it, and then all the babies gather around it, And what they think they saw was that they're pushing their heads against the cloaca and they're opening and closing their mouths and things. And then the baby's heads seem wet and things and stuff. So they think that the female's excreting, well, is excreting a clear fluid that the babies are consuming. And they notice that there's two different kinds, like a watery one and then like a more viscous one. And so they think, you know, that's some sort of other type of nutrition that they're getting. That's pretty interesting. And then, so yeah, this one's I think shorter than the other one. Pretty much just talk about skin feeding because it's kind of cool. And there's a cute little picture of better than the real one actually, as far as definition. But I guess that's it. And I'll see you next week with, I'll show you, you know, more of the real reptiles and things like that. I think the Argentina was, so I'll see you then. Have a good night.